In this video, I'm going to break down exactly how to start and grow a 3D printing business, even if you're a complete beginner, someone that's looking to build a full-time income, and someone who is serious about turning 3D printing into a full-time business. My name is Brandon. I've been 3D printing for the past 5 years. I run my business strictly off of 2 X1 carbons, helping people learn how to turn their ideas into 3D printable products. And in this video, I'm going to break down exactly how to start and grow a business without having to compete on Etsy, compete with thousands of other sellers, and without having to license other people's models to actually make money. Truthfully, it's actually a lot easier to not only make money with 3D printing, but more specifically, how to actually build a business that you actually love, care about, and knowing that you can get consistent customers on a daily basis buying what it is you have to sell. Now, in this video, I'm going to break down a couple of key topics that I'm pretty sure no one is talking about within this space, covering topics that most people will not even mention, covering things that is going to show you kind of more in-depth analysis as to actually how to build a brand and a business around this hobby, and exactly how to position your products as a premium product rather than just trying to scrape by selling other models, other people's designs, and actually figuring it out what you actually want to sell and create. So with that said, what I want to do in this video is kind of show you some key topics, and I'm going to be using my iPad as a reference here and drawing out some of those topics here. So that way everything can come together all in one. So when it comes to building a business, more specifically, actually building a brand, building a business, actually making an impact, 3D printing aside for now, when it comes to doing anything that difficult, like a business, you need to become what is called full stack. Successful companies, people who, run successful companies, let's just say Apple, CEO of any sort of major company, these people who are the CEOs who lead the company forward, these people know the ins and out of their business. They know the sales, they know the marketing, they know every inch and aspect, they know the financials, the logistics, they know every single thing about that business that makes it flow, operate, and do really well. And that's the main thing about 3D printing you also need to understand. So what I want to do is lay out 2 examples or 2 types of people that most people typically fall under, and more specifically, which category you would want to fall under. So with that said, let's just imagine there are 2 people. So we have the first person here, and this person is not full stack, meaning that this person doesn't have all the skills required to actually build a company. And then we have the second person, and excuse me for using the highlighter function here, who is full stack. And by full stack, meaning that they know how to create models. They know how to market their products online, create content. They know how to, turn their ideas into a printed product, a premium product. They also know how to selling products online. Like, how do you get people to buy what it is you have to sell? And they also know the ins and outs of 3D printing. And typically when most people come into this hobby, they start out here. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with starting out here. Someone who's just starting here is just getting started in their journey. They're learning 3D printing. They are learning the ins and outs of it. They're learning what types of filaments to use. They're learning about different settings in their slicer. They're learning that they have to learn CAD and 3D modeling in order to make models. They're learning that if they want to build a business, they have to create products. And then when they learn they have to make products, then it goes back to the fact that they have to know how to design and create products, and as well as, how to market their products to actually get sales. And typically most people fall under this category. And like I mentioned, there's nothing wrong with this. But if you truly want to win and you truly want to build a brand or a business and build great products, you need to be here. And it's very important that you really, really put effort into these high income skills. And these high income skills here, and I've just listed them out. And let me just draw this out for you. So for example, someone who is full stack knows how to model. Someone who is full stack knows how to model, right? They know how to turn their ideas into 3D printable designs. Understands 3D printing. So they understand how it works, how to print products at scale, and not only that, how to maximize the amount of product they get per one printer. For example, most people think that when they want to make more money with 3D printing, they just need to buy more machines. And truthfully, that's Not the case. If you have to buy more machines to make more money, what ends up happening is that your income is purely capped by the amount of machines you have. So if you wanted to make an extra 10 grand a month, and let's just say it took you one extra machine, that means you would have to spend another X amount of dollars to get that machine, plus all the maintenance and upkeep that comes along with it. Although it might be minute and minuscule, but when you have a fleet of printers, let's say 50, 25, 75, whatever, that's a lot. That's a lot of work. And what I mean by understands 3D printing, like they understand exactly how to create products and then use 3D printing to manufacture those products and create production lines that are able to scale quickly, even with just a few machines. You don't need more than 2 printers to make 10 grand a month. You don't need more than 4 printers to make 10 grand a month. I mean, realistically, you just need a solid evergreen product, right? Third, knows how to create content. And this is a big one. Most people have no idea how to create content. Now, why create content? Why make videos? Why even, where would this content go? And what is content? Well, content is basically what you're watching right now. It's videos. It's things you watch online. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Pinterest, Twitter, Threads. Doesn't matter where you post it. That is content, and people see that content. And what ends up happening is that when you post content about your products, this is the marketing aspect. So this, knowing how to 3D model, that's one stack. Understands 3D printing. Let me just highlight this here. This is one stack for knows how to model. Understands 3D printing. That's the second stack. Knows how to create content. That's marketing. That's the third stack. In addition to that, knows how to create content and knows how to sell. So how do you sell your products? How do you market it online, but also sell products? And that's another stack on its own. For example, and the reason why this is important, you might be saying, okay, well, what if I just create products and market those products online? Shouldn't that be enough to actually get people to buy what I have to sell? Well, no, you need to know how to convert eyeballs, traffic, people into sales. And a good example is this, is that if you think of your most favorite creators, top creators, there are a lot of influencers, a lot of top creators with millions of followers that are not making tens of thousands of dollars every single month. A lot of them are actually broke, surprisingly enough. So you would think that someone with 1 million followers who has great marketing, yet someone with that many people following them, they're not actually making a lot of cash. And it's kind of the opposite. Like if you don't know how to create content and know how to sell, and this is the important one here, you're not really going to do well long term. And that's why when you want to become full stack here, you need to know these 4 things here. And this is crucial. This is big if you want to be successful, if you really want to win in this game, and if you truthfully want to build a brand or a business with 3D printing. Okay, so with that said, what's next? Yes, you might know that you need to learn these skills and that learning to model is important and understanding 3D printing is important and creating content and knowing how to convert people into paying customers. You know, okay, so what's next? Well, truthfully, let me show you what's not next. So for example, when most people get started in this, and this is the traditional way of what most people sell or tell you online, and I'm gonna call it traditional. Traditional way is you open up an Etsy shop and you put products, and this is just like a little cart here. And then suddenly, you know, for whatever reason, people expect money to just come in through the door. And this is what people just think happens when it comes to making money online. And I call this the big E because they take a lot of your profits. Big E is an expense. Etsy is an expense, right? But it's still a platform you can make money on. Now, truthfully, you can do really well with the traditional method. This is the easiest thing that you can do in terms of making products, in terms of if you don't know how to create a website, if you don't know how to create content, if you don't know how to get your own traffic organically, this is one of the best ways to do it, especially as a complete beginner. But truthfully, most people who are just a single stack, you know, like I mentioned here, they typically go here and they do this. And what ends up happening is that they might throw up some products, they might license some models from different creators, and maybe a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month goes by, and they throw their hands up and then say, well, it doesn't work for me, like it's saturated, or it doesn't work, or the common excuse is it's saturated. People don't want what I have to sell. What's the best item to sell? They, instead of starting to reflect and thinking about, okay, what am I doing wrong? They start blaming the platform or the customers on the platform or the people that are there. And they never reflect on as to why their business is not moving the way it needs to. And the most common one that I hear the most often is it's saturated. And truthfully, and just to quickly cover that, most things are not really saturated, if you believe it or not. Most things are actually, they're not really saturated. And let me just put an example here. If I were to put, and let's just imagine this is a window frame or a frame, and this is an ocean, right? I was trying to draw an ocean with blue, but for some reason didn't draw. So this is the ocean. Let's just imagine you put a water bottle in the middle of an ocean. Is it saturated? Is water saturated here? Yeah. Yes, it saturated. Yes, because saturated, right? Is that how you spell it? Point is, you guys understand. It's saturated. There is a lot of water, but not because the water bottle is useless. It's because where it's positioned is useless. Like it being where all the water exists in the world, there's basically too much of it for it to be any useful or for anyone to see any value in it. But what if we put that same exact water bottle, and I'm going to draw a Sahara desert, and suddenly, let's see, they're trying to draw best impression of a cactus here, right? Now, if I put that exact same water bottle in a Sahara desert where there's typically no water, is it saturated now? No, it's actually one of the most valuable things in that area. So when people say, not saturated, right? I don't know why I'm tripping. I think it's with a T. I could be wrong. See, saturated versus not saturated, right? This water bottle being in the Sahara Desert is probably one of the most valuable products that could exist in that space because water doesn't exist there. So my point here is that when people come in and they just throw up a store on Etsy and they start putting, products into the store where there's a whole bunch of other people selling the exact same product, well, yes, it's going to feel saturated, right? But if you throw up a store, and I don't mean like another Etsy store, I mean like your own site where you generate your own traffic, where you generate your own leads, your own visitors, and you throw up your own products where there's no competition other than how much traffic and eyeballs you can get into your store, it's not saturated. Suddenly your product has value. Suddenly when people don't have the option to compare your product to someone else's based off of price, now you can charge more, now you can make more money, and now you have a brand, you have leverage in addition to all of the other stuff like customer data, name, email, phone number, retargeting data, like you can run ads to retarget people. And now this allows you to scale much faster, versus Etsy, because Etsy doesn't really allow you to scale. Etsy, all I really see Etsy as an income source. It's just another way to make money, but it's not your primary way to make money. Just the same way with Amazon, eBay, wherever other third-party platform you can sell products on that you don't have control over, it's just another income source, but it should never be your main income source. Your main income source should be your store, and because you have control of your store and exactly who gets to come into that store. So what is the new way or the right way of selling products online? So the traditional versus the right way. And what this looks like, it's as simple as this. One, you create content. You make videos. This is traffic. And traffic is just another word for viewers, visitors, people, right? You need somebody. It's just like if you go to the mall, you walking into the mall is traffic. Like you just being there That mall has to do that store in each mall or in the mall itself needs to do its very best to try to get your attention to walk into the store. Imagine that the same way. So we create videos. The store does marketing. You do your own marketing. You create content, whether it's on TikTok, IG, Instagram, YouTube Shorts. It doesn't matter where you're making content. You're just creating content and you're pushing traffic. From here, you can push traffic to your site. And you have your cart. So this is where your products would be, right? Your site. And from here, you take that traffic over here and you bring them over here to your store. Then they check out your site, check out what products you have, right? Product. And then you have the final stage, which is checkout, money, right? And this is what is called a funnel. And if you never heard of this term before, basically what this means is that you're taking somebody down through each stage. So if you have 100 people that visit your store daily, the odds of someone buying something, if they're the right type of person, they're actually interested in your products, it's going to convert. And it looks like this in the marketing world. If you're into digital marketing, you know how to market, you know how to create products, digital products. It looks like this. So you get 100 people, everyone comes in, and as they go through along each stage, then you get the handful of people that actually buy your products. And that's your funnel. That's what you're doing. And your top of funnel is essentially everything you're doing in terms of traffic to get people down to buy your products. And this is the right way to do it. This has been the right way to do it for a long time. This is what every company does to get you to buy your products. For example, if you shop at H&M, Gap, Target, Walmart, they get people to go to their website. They create content. They run marketing campaigns. They have influencers creating and promoting their store. Then from there, they're also taking that traffic, then pushing them into their online store. And then you can go ahead and browse and see which you would want to buy and check out and see what would you like, really. Then from there, you would buy it. And if you buy it, then you become a customer. And the cool thing about doing it this way, running it through your own site, is that you keep that customer data. You actually keep more of the profits. And you can also retarget those people with ads. You can upsell them. You can sell more stuff. And now you know their shopping behaviors because they've made a purchase on your store. And that's the cool thing about running traffic or, having a funnel directly to your site. And compared to Etsy, eBay, Etsy, eBay, Amazon, any of these stores don't give you any data at all. And that's data that you don't even get to keep. The people who get to keep it is the companies, in addition to the profits. When it comes to Etsy, for example, or eBay, Amazon, you are the last person paid. You are truthfully the last person paid, even though you're the one that bought the product. So in this case, when you're running your own site, you're not the last person paid. You're actually one of the first people to get paid. And then what ends up happening is that you can take that money, reinvest it, put into more machines or more new R&D into better products, whatever it is to make your business float better. So my point with this video is if you really want to build a company and do really well, you need to become full stack. And my writing is pretty bad on an iPad, so just bear with me. But becoming full stack allows you to build a brand in a business. And when you know how to build great products, you know how to model, you know how to model here, you know how to 3D print, you know how to create content, and you know how to sell your products online, then you no longer have to rely on the traditional way to make money. You can now rely on your way of making money and pushing people to your store and buying what it is you have to sell. And that's exactly what we've done in the Prince to Product program. For example, I have a premium program called the Prince to Product program. We show people exactly how to start and grow a 3D printing business. And we even give them their own website. And we've seen it time and time again. We tell students, create content, push content. Even if you're not familiar with creating content and videos and putting yourself out there, even being consistent or at least pushing videos out there, you'd be surprised. We've had students with less than 120 followers, less than 1,000 followers on Instagram actually making money from their products. And it's very simple products too. It's nothing unique. It's nothing fancy. It's nothing over the top or complex. It's realistically just marketing yourself, pushing people to a website, and then getting people to buy, and then also remarketing them later on if they do buy. That's how you actually build a brand, a business, and you build customer loyalty. So instead of someone going on Amazon or on Etsy just to reach out to you and buy your products, they would go to your store and they trust you, the brand, the business owner. And that's how you build a business with 3D printing, and that's how you become full stack. So with that said, hopefully this video has been insightful and informative. I know we went over a lot of information here. This is probably information overload for a lot of people, but I needed to get this off my chest as I see there's a lot of confusion when it comes to actually building a brand with 3D printing. And for me, for example, I've created my profiles online to around 40,000 followers online. And truthfully, you can get millions of views, but that doesn't mean anything. But you can get maybe 300 to 400, 500, maybe 1,000 views on your videos and still make sales. So truthfully, after learning all this, collecting this data over the past few years, after talking to my students, after learning what troubles that they have, I can tell you that if you really want to succeed, you got to build a store, you got to take traffic into that store, and you got to know how to sell your products to people. So with that said, hopefully this video has been insightful and informative. Like I said, I know this is a lot of information, but I hope this helps you guys out and gives you a lot more clarity. And if you have any questions, feel free to like and comment down below, as it helps me out a lot and push this content more to people who actually need it. And if you're interested in learning how to start and grow your 3D printing business and actually build a company the right way, getting your own customers and actually marketing your products and not having to compete with hundreds of thousands of other sellers trying to make money, then this program is perfect for you. We break everything down to the T, and truthfully, it can happen pretty quickly. We've had students that go from 0 to 5, 6, 7, 8 grand in a single month within less than 2 months. We have students go from 0 printers to literally 4 to 5, 6 machines within a matter of months, sometimes even weeks. So truthfully, it can happen pretty quickly, and with the right group and the right mindset, anyone can do it. So hopefully this video helps, and I'll see you guys on the other side. Take care.